Praise the Lord. Welcome again to our Friday 15 minutes podcast. Remember, we started this series of teaching last 2 weeks, and today is going to be the last episode. Again, I want to ask your indulgence to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. How do you do it? Press on subscription, the bell comes out, you press on the bell, and then you are a subscriber. What do you have to lose? Nothing. What do you have to gain? Everything. How? Once the podcast is ready, the YouTube will send you will send you a notification. So after your busy day schedule, then you can watch the podcast and follow us in the series. So we started this series of teaching last 2 weeks. We also always ask you to go through it all over again. You know what? I left off on Wednesday by talking to us about the rich man and Lazarus. Now, I said to us, from what we have taught so far, we discovered that we are partakers of God's divine nature. We are partakers. Now, we have already said it, you cannot be a partaker of God's nature and the devil's nature at the same time. No. So the moment you are a partaker of God's nature, the devil nature has to die. How did that happen? Christ crucified it. Romans 6 says, knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, our old man. So we have a new man now, which is a new body. I will talk to us later on about that in future. He said, knowing this, that our old man is crucified with him, that the body of sin might be destroyed, that henceforth we should not serve sin. So if we should not serve sin, we should not also serve sickness. So your mortal body has been crucified with Christ, which is the Adamic nature. So your mortal body cannot sin anymore because it's dead. That's according to Romans 6:7. He said, for he that is dead is free from sin. He that is dead is free from sin. So if your mortal body is dead, then it's free from sin. So meaning that sin doesn't come from your mortal body. The same thing also, if it is dead to sin, then it's dead to sickness. Meaning that your mortal body cannot fall sick again. So where is the problem coming from? It's from the mind. It's from the mind. Because the spirit man is perfect. Is renewed. Colossians 3:10. Is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Is renewed. So the spirit man is perfect. The flesh is dead. Stone dead. Now, where is the problem? The problem is in the mind. The dead body, like I said, left a memory in your mind. Left a memory in your mind. It's that mind, it's that memory, that still bring you back into sinning, that still bring you back into sickness. Now, on Wednesday, we left off by talking about rich man and Lazarus. Now, rich man was dead, Lazarus was dead. Now, the rich man still remembered that he has brothers on earth. In fact, he knew that he came from earth. He knew that he has brothers on earth. Meaning that he remembered other things that happened while he was on earth. But this time around, I don't need to convince you that his mortal body is dead. His mortal body has gone back to sand. But you see, the mind does not die. The mind does not die. So meaning that you are not going to have a different mind when you get to heaven than you are having now. No, your mind is going to be there. The same mind you have on earth is the same one you are carrying to heaven. Nothing is going to wipe off what is inside. Nothing is going to wipe off what is inside. So get that right now. So the rich man still had his mind, because you see, if his mind is already formatted while he was in hell, if his mind is already formatted, then he will not remember anything. He will not remember that he has brothers on earth. In fact, he won't remember where he came from. But you see, The Bible says, renew your mind. Renew your mind. So, the rich man still knew he had his brothers. But do you know, this time around, he's not having a mortal body. He's having immortal body. Now, immortal body is what you will get when you go to heaven. What immortal body means is this. When you go to America, you can't spend Naira note that we spend in Nigeria. At the bureau de change or from the bank, you have to change all your Naira to Naira note. So when you leave your mortal body, you are not going to be hanging in the air. No. Immediately you are leaving your mortal body, you are taking the immortal body. Now this immortal body cannot be destroyed by fire. Now that's why the rich man still had his body. That's why Lazarus was able to recognize the rich man. The rich man was able to recognize Lazarus, because the mortal has taken over, the immortality has taken over the mortal. So they've been given a new house, and that's why some of you are going to be disappointed, because when you get to heaven, you'll be expecting that in heaven God will give somebody duplex, God will give somebody bungalow. Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would not have told you. Now, it's not talking about physical building. It's talking about the immortal body that we're going to possess. It's talking about the immortal body. So, when you pass on to glory and I pass on to glory and we see ourselves, we still know ourselves. Our immortal, which is what Paul says, he said, our tabernacle in heaven, which is not made by human's hand. The house you are living today here is going to look, the house you're going to live when you get to heaven is going to look exactly like the one you are living on earth. Now, I'm not talking about the one you built with block. I'm not talking about the one you built with block. But he said, but that is going to be immortal body. But do you know what? The mind is still there. The mind is still there. You will still remember everything you did on earth. How you stole, how you kill, how you maim. All those things will still be in your mind. So that's why, even though our mortal body is crucified with Christ, is crucified with Christ, and he that is dead is free from sin, and he that is dead is free from sickness. But you see, you still fall sick, you still sinned, not because the physical body is alive to sin, no, or to sickness. No, it's the memory in your mind. It's the memory in your mind of sickness that brings sickness memory back to you. And you see, when you spend time meditating on it, you say, I'm having the symptoms, I'm sneezing, I'm doing this, and you begin to say it, you begin to experience it in real life. You begin to experience it in real life. You see, it's coming from your mind. It's coming from your mind. Because we've already proved that you don't have dual nature. To believe that you can still sin or fall sick means you admit that you have dual natures, which is practically impossible. You have to choose one nature. To choose God's divine nature means you have reckoned you are dead to sin, and dead men can fall sick. Believers must not agree to dual natures, meaning that our physical body is dead to sin and sickness. And if it's dead to sin, then it's dead to sickness. But it starts with your believing that you don't have dual nature. God's nature and devil's nature at the same time. We are partakers of God's divine nature. Don't allow sin to reign in your mortal bodies, according to Paul in Romans 6:12. Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that ye may obey it in the laws thereof. In a similar manner, don't let sickness reign in your mortal body, and that must come from your mind. Our mortal bodies do not have the nature of the devil in it, because it's dead. So I don't have Satan's nature in my mortal body. It's dead, and because it's dead, it's free from sin and sicknesses, according to that Romans 6:7, that for ye that is dead is free from sin. So the believer has only one nature, and that is God's nature. Satan's nature and in our mortal bodies, Satan's nature in our mortal bodies is dead, because our mortal bodies are crucified with Christ and is dead. And the only problem left for the believer to deal with now is his mind, which is the only memory that sin and sickness left behind after the body died. And if we can deal with our mind, we'll be just fine. And this is why we are asked to renew our mind. When the body died, it left behind the memory of sin and sickness in our mind, we really don't have sin nature any longer along with God's nature. We only have the memory of sin and sickness. And the Bible said that we need to renew our mind and not our bodies. Did you see that? The Bible never told you to renew your body, because your body is dead. You don't renew something that is dead. You only wake up, you only resurrect what is dead. But your mind, the Bible says renew it. But like I already told you, you've got to understand how your mind works. Your mind is like the photographic, what's it called? In those days, before digital came, when you snap a picture, you have to put a film inside the camera. When you snap the picture, it's registered on the negative, or on the print, and then you print out the negative. Now, in 10 years, 50 years, if you don't destroy it, burn it off, the thing will come up. Now that's where the mind is. It comes from the subconscious mind. So, the ability to stay sane, the ability to stay sick, comes from the mind. But do you know what? Don't spend time meditating on it. But that is what I'm trying to bring out. Now that you know that your spirit man is perfect, your body is dead to sin and sickness. The Bible never told you to renew your body, neither did it tell you to renew your spirit, but it said renew your mind, because there's a record in your mind. It's going to be there for as long as it's going to be there. But do you know what? You need to renew your mind. Now that's why I say that spend time meditating on positive things. Now listen to me. When you are trying to get rid of a bad habit, then form a new one and spend time with that new one. Now that's how you're going to work on the mind. Spend a lot of time on healing scriptures. Spend a lot of time listening to healing messages. Let your mind replay it again and again. You know, like Proverbs said in 4:20, say, my son, attend to my words. Listen to me. Whatever gets your attention gets your life. Anything that gets your attention gets your life. So that's why I say attend to my word. In other words, let my word get your attention. Now this is how you're going to overcome sickness and sin. You're going to get the mind engaged in new things. Renew new things. Get messages. Now that you are sick, it means that you didn't have enough thing to establish your mind. Now get teachings. That's why, listen to me, the best thing you can do for yourself is to go through the messages in the past 6 episodes together with this one. Hear it again and again. Scientifically, it has been proved that you can never maximize a message until you listen to it 7 times. Attend to my words, incline thy ear unto my saying, let them not depart out of thy eyes, but thou shalt keep them in the midst of your heart, for they are life unto them that find it, and medicine to all their flesh. Meaning that whatever gets your attention will get your health. So your mind will want to be meditating on the sickness, on the information about sickness, on the information about sin, information about this. Your mind will want to be meditating on it. But do you know what? Grab this kind of message I've been teaching. You have opportunity to listen to me 3 times in a week. Take time out, go over it. That's why I like the YouTube. Compare to a television set. You can play it all over and all over again. You can play it everywhere. You can hear as many times until it begins to overshadow the old information. This is very crucial. But like I said, my main target is to let you know that we don't have dual nature. We have only one. So if you agree with the scripture on that, then 90% of the job is done. So don't allow your mind to meditate too much on sickness, disease, infirmity, sin. Spend time. Stop going to churches that spend too much time on demons. Spend too much time on spiritual warfare. Small time on how the devil do this, the devil do that. No. Listen to me. You don't need to occupy the mind with such messages. You need to occupy the message with what Christ have done. So thank you so much for these past 2 weeks standing behind your handset. As for me here, I want to tell you that Jesus Christ is Lord. I will see you in our Monday 15 minutes podcast where we'll be starting on a new set of series. Jesus Christ is Lord.